Hi, my name is Matt Kleinman, and I am the Director of Community Development at Vibrant Health, which is a federally qualified health center located in Kansas City, Kansas. This is a presentation to recap the work to restore the Jersey Creek basketball court project. We were joined by many partners over many years to bring this project to fruition. That includes the New Bethel Church Community Development Corporation, KC United, Groundwork NRG, a Loving Space Foundation, the Unified Government of Wyandotte County, which also includes the Livable Neighborhoods Task Force and their Health Equity Task Force, the Lady Spartans youth basketball team, Vibrant Health, where I work, muralist JT Daniels, McConnell and Associates, the Kansas City Monarchs Turf Council, the Wyandotte County Parks Foundation, Community Capital Fund, Frontiers, CTSI, City Kid with Kick Ministries, and our last partner was with Demarcus Weeks, helping us with some of our swag for the end of the year event. So this project was born out of a recognition in public health that Parks and Rec have a big impact on the health outcomes of our community, and we have areas with some of the lowest health outcomes in the east side of Wyandotte County. And when you map out where people live in proximity to their parks, you find that certain parks have more people living in and around them than others. And so this park project was located. This basketball court project was located at Jersey Creek Park. And around it, within a mile, there's almost 10,000 residents. It's a very diverse community. It's also a very low income community. And in, I think, late 2018, we were working, actually 2016, we were working as a coalition through what was called the Infrastructure Action Team to develop a healthy community corridor. This was a part of the Aetna Healthiest Cities and Counties Challenge. And we looked at all of the community engagement work that was being done to promote physical activity and health in this area along the 10th and 12th Street bike lane in eastern Kansas City, Kansas. And we recognized that there was more investment that could be made in the neighborhood spaces to encourage people to feel safe and welcome as they used physical activity. There were many initiatives as part of that. And when we presented it to a national challenge, we got a runner up status across the country, which came with a cash prize, which was used in part to support the redevelopment of a tunnel, which you see here next to the Boys and Girls Club to connect the Jersey Creek Trail, and also to support the Rose-Arcs Walking Trail in Rosedale. Some of the funding that was left remaining always intended to go to supporting a third project, a basketball court renovation. This basketball court exists along the Jersey Creek Trail in the northeast area of Kansas City, Kansas. It's just a couple blocks north of Sumner Academy, and it's right off the Jersey Creek Trail where people who are walking the trail have immediate access to it. It's also directly north of New Bethel Church. For context, New Bethel Church organizes annual Family 101 walk, bike, and run 5Ks that have been there held annually. It's also adjacent to Parallel Parkway, and it's situated in the northeast area just north of the Douglas Sumner Neighborhood Association. There's a short video here. I won't play it right now, but if you're watching this video, I encourage you to find this video. It's on the Vibrant Community YouTube page and on the website for Vibrant Community. It features Broderick talking about this process, this project. I recorded it with him. This was the last project he worked on before he passed in late November of 2022. He had been in a coma for 1 year prior to that. So we miss him dearly, and he was a champion for everything in and around this area, especially the Jersey Creek Trail, which he contributed to many projects and planning efforts and helped to get resurfaced during the pandemic. We used his New Bethel Church as a meeting hub for community engagement events. We met with young basketball teams. We met with neighborhood leaders. We had city officials there. We had a lot of people from the community participate at also neighborhood association meetings where I would go and talk about this project. And so we got feedback from folks. There was a lot of concerns, but also a lot of opportunities, and people thought that this was the right project to work on, especially in light of Broderick's passing. Now, some of the conditions that we identified were an opportunity to connect to the Jersey Creek Trail, a chance to update and renovate the backboards, to fix the broken court surface and cracks, and maybe add some additional seating, as well as additional goals along the side so that youth could play. Even if there was adults playing on the main goals, you could have young people play on the side goals. In addition to that, we had the vision to bring JT Danielist, a muralist who was originally from Kansas City, Kansas, and his reputation is getting larger every year. He's doing more and more work. Most recently in the Kansas City airport, his artwork is featured there, and his work is being seen around town. The example for us was other parks, other basketball courts. Um, and there was an organization called Project Backboard that started doing this nationwide. In Kansas City, Missouri, the Ryan Stokes Memorial Court was developed as a honor to honor Ryan Stokes in KCMO, and we saw that as a realistic, attainable goal to do a court mural that celebrated the community's participation and created a safe, welcoming space for kids to be physically active in the community. JT Daniels, who I mentioned earlier, is a muralist who had done a lot of work, most prominently in KCK on the corner of 5th in Minnesota, where he painted the mural for the Merck Grocery Cooperative. He's also painted a mural of Broderick within the Community Health Council to honor his legacy. In addition to the court, we had a vision for some signage. Groundwork NRG has done a wonderful job developing a Northeast Heritage Trail, and as part of that, there is a signage package. Projects that I've been a part of include, doing some sort of temporary signage along the Jersey Creek Trail years past with Broderick's support, as well as recent signage that was installed at the rebuilt Kaboom Playground in Parkwood Park. And so the opportunity to align a new sign that communicates what this park is about, what this court is about, and about Broderick's legacy is something that there is the possibility of doing in the future still. In 2023, in the summer, we hosted the first annual Broderick Crawford Basketball Showcase. Thanks to Adrian Robertson and KC United, we were able to host a 3-on-3 tournament with youth and adults participating. It was a great event, a good turnout. It was a part of the Jersey Creek Family 101 5K, and we had a good experience and realized that this was an opportunity to do annually. Around that time, we were also engaging in deeper conversations with Parks and Recreation. Parks and Recreation came back and said, here's the model for what we want to do. It's a post-tension concrete basketball court surface. And that's the type of court that does not need to get patched up every few years. It gets built once and it should last for at least 2 decades. Now, the mural will need touch-ups with paint, as all murals do, especially ones that are exposed to the sun directly like this one will be, as well as having shoes on it all the time. That said, this is a project that makes a lot of sense to restore the basketball court in the area. Parks and Rec has been doing a number of basketball court projects as well. They've done Edgerton Park in recent years, as well as the Quindaro basketball courts near Quindaro Park. Total cost for this, I don't have the final figures, but it was around $150,000 all said. Much of that came from the Unified Government Parks and Recreation, or Parks Foundation, and the Turf Council, which is an extension of the Kansas City Monarchs, reinvesting in community, physical activity, sport spaces. In addition to that, Parks and Recreation at the Unified Government contributed some of the remaining funds. And we had additional funding from groups like Community Capital Fund to support the mural, and Frontiers at KU Health, KU Med for some of the engagement work we did. The mural was funded by CCF with paint donated by McConnell and Associates. They also installed the basketball goals, and the original paint was reflecting the Broderick's love for the Kappa fraternity that he was a part of, and that Kappa red is what you see, as well as his love for KU basketball. So the complementing red and blue was part of the inspiration. And the young people who participated in the community engagement session said they wanted to see vibrant colors. And so we worked with JT Daniels to develop a color palette, and McConnell and Associates supplied those colors and made it sort of a base coat, which then JT came back and updated. So this is what the court looked like before we began work in the summer of 2024, and this is what it looks like today. You see the statement, "It's a beautiful thing." That is one of Broderick's famous quotes that he would often tell people, and it's sort of a words of inspiration to live by that Broderick would always remind us of in the community work we would do. If you look carefully, you see a couple characters that JT is known for, including in much of his work, as well as words sort of hidden around the court, such as pass and bounce. And there's a sort of hidden mural of Broderick. If you look carefully in the blue, on the middle bottom section, it's a little bit of a representation of Broderick as well. On October 26th, we hosted the second annual Broderick Crawford Basketball Showcase. We hosted it with Parks and Rec organizing a ribbon cutting. Beverly Crawford, Broderick's mother, as well as his family were there in attendance, and they helped us with the ribbon cutting. We also had a great turnout from a lot of different community partners who participated, and a lot of credit goes to Parks and Recreation for not only organizing this event, but also following through on the entire project. We had city union city kid from Kick Ministries, Coach Winston Frazier, help us participate in getting a basketball clinic free for youth, and we had a 3-on-3 tournament after that. Had I think over probably 100 attendees all told for all of the activities for this project for this day. So we were really grateful to have so many people turn out. It was a cool day, but it warmed up, and we certainly enjoyed it. And this is sort of what it's all about. It's a beautiful thing to be able to invest in our spaces and see them be restored. And so this has been the restoration of the Jersey Creek basketball court project, but where it's going in the near future is this will soon be an effort to rename the Broderick Crawford basketball court. And so as of today, there is a submission before the mayor to consider a proposal where we would have the court renamed in Broderick's honor and have signage eventually included, possibly at the next annual showcase, and then to keep this thing going and make sure that the community is aware of this as an amenity and as a resource in the community. And we are grateful for everyone's support and participation. And we look forward to doing more projects like this in the future.